This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better personal life.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brahman Opio and today we're going to talk about abuse, but the abuse that is not obvious. How do you deal with the hidden abuse? Hello Benjamin.
Yes, and Brahma, we talked about the other day that there's some things in society you should understand early.
Yeah.
Before you go into a societal institution like marriage.
Yeah.
It is for you, you're choosing it, but because of the way we live in a communal setting, there's some things in marriage that society does not recognize. They're very uncomfortable for them.
Yeah.
There's some things, for example, when abuse roars like a lion, you may get sympathy and support. People may understand because they can see the blast. They can see the slaps. They can see the shouting.
Yeah.
They can see the chaos. When abuse is loud, society may validate. But when abuse slithers like a snake, when it is invisible, they will not only not believe you, actually they will gaslight you to make you think like you are crazy.
Yeah.
The other day we said some things that you need and society will never give them to you, like growth, happiness, fulfillment. They don't even value them. They don't even talk about them. The one thing that now in terms of marital satisfaction, in terms of marital environment, whatever they can't see, they don't believe.
Yeah.
One lady screenshot a post when I was talking about invisible covert abuse and said, "Thank you for giving me a way to tell my friends what I've been saying." That the abuse can be silent, but it's still so damaging.
Yeah.
Another thing you need to know about society is they would rather hear you die than to hear you divorced. They will piously sing hymns and bury you and eat rice on their way out and say your day has come. They can't take any responsibility for abandoning you, for pushing you to remain in a very damaging circumstance. They can't own anything. You see, death has sympathy in forms of their image. Death is better than divorce. Death has no shame.
Yes.
Divorce has a shame. I told you to be careful. While you appreciate best couple, while you appreciate the people who helped you to get married, be careful. They have a conflict of interest. Their advice might not be neutral. It takes a lot of maturity for them to see your point of view and to have your interest at heart, because this is a project and if it fails, it feels bad to them. They might have a lot of conflict of interest. And I told you that the one thing you want is control and independence. What else did we say we need to change? When we cross 30, when we become family people, retire all authority figures, parental figures, and become the parental figure yourself.
Yes.
Take the control of your life. When Moses became a man, he chose to identify with another group. Paul said, when I became a man, I gave up childish ways. When psychologically you reach a point where you can take risks, all the knowledge you've acquired does not mean now you have known everything. That's not what you're saying. We're saying at some point you have to launch in your direction and now continue learning from teachers and mentors from a distance, but you do not have anybody you're cross-checking your decisions with except your partner. You stumble now into the forest. The imagery of two scouts finding their way through the forest, homecoming, going to the best version of themselves, journeying through life together. That imagery now make it practical by thinking together, consulting other people out here or friends of that, hearing their opinion. But you don't start an opinion poll until you're paralyzed. You can hear people's input, but make decisions, two of you. There before, you needed the support of a father figure or mother figure. You needed the backing. You needed the supervision. You needed the support. You needed the input. You held until so and so approved that this is a good thing. You could not start business until this and this approved. The other one rubber stamped because they could back you up before. You are depending on them to lift you up. Now you are two of you. Make good and bad decisions, learn from them, adjust together. And the thing with marriage and when it is not happy is that society goes by what they see. What is the problem with going by what they see? That some people create a charming personality, generous, kind to the outside, polite, giving, supporting, cheering on, until everybody says this is a very nice person. But at home they're very mean. At home they tell you condescending words. At home they abandon you. At home they let you feel alone, rejected, and they can cut you down. I want to tell you forms of emotional abuse, covert abuse, emotional drain. I want to tell you the things that you see them, that's a snake.
Yeah.
And number one, what is the difference between enduring hardships of life and condoning abuse? It's because hardships should come from life, not from your partner.
Okay.
Abuse comes from your partner.
Yeah.
Mistreatment, disrespect. 2 clips I saw where men are being broken down mentally by the women, and society is very quiet about the abuse carried out by women.
Yeah.
Be very careful. Even after it happens, the story does not carry on for long.
Yeah.
Because it's not juicy, you know. The juicy story is when it's the man who is the abuser.
Yeah.
When he is the abused, we don't go in. In both cases, it was these loyalty tests where one guy content creator challenges a couple that you should go through your phones on camera and I will give you a tip for free. Because they're confident that none of them is cheating. They agree. Really, he's playing between them. Hoping to get a surprise to entertain his viewers. So in both cases, the lady was found to be cheating. And instead of sorry and all that, she launches insulting his manhood, saying, I don't know, you are this small, you are this size, you are so useless. Who was caught cheating? The lady.
The lady.
What would you have expected? Apology, sorry.
Yeah.
The one who is innocent is the one who's being attacked. Narcissistic, gaslighting, blame shifting, insulting until the guy was crushed. We don't talk about that. In the second case, again, it was a lady who was found cheating with a boss. She launched telling him, you're so useless, go back to your tribesmen, you and your minions, you can't even satisfy my need to. On camera. Wow. Narcissistic, so my God, it's just disastrous. 50-50 those men may recover their personality, their identity. 50-50 they may not. You know, we don't talk about those cases where people never recover.
Yeah.
We tend to think everybody recovers. We know physical injuries, some change life permanently, but we don't recognize that also psychological injuries. Because just because they're invisible, we don't play them. The first form of abuse, the first form of psychological abuse, emotional abuse, is a person who denies you the chance to have the difficult conversations. Uncomfortable conversations that involve them taking accountability, taking blame, healing new way that they've healed. A person who the moment you try to bring up conversations, they say you're being dramatic, you're being petty, they don't want fight, they want peace. And yet they're doing things that are hurting you, but they refuse to the audience the right to be heard. And they put you down, they walk away. Over time, again and again, they say you're being dramatic, they don't want chaos, and they're doing things that are hurting you. The truth is that all relationships, healthy relationships, involve uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
The unhappy conversations are part of a healthy relationship. Telling me what you felt, how you felt hurt. If I deny you the right for me to address and take up, to hear what you felt, that is manipulative, it's invalidating, it's unloving, it's uncaring, it's cruel.
Yeah.
But you see, it's not loud. You see, your best friend will not see that, your best couple may not see that, and we don't have problem with mentors, best couples. We're just saying the outside world may not see that. How will they know that? No, you're bottling up. So these people are avoiding responsibility, and then you start piling.
Yes.
What happens after that? you are angry, more angry, piling up, building up, frustrated. In the end, you blast.
Yeah.
Now, who is dramatic and crazy? You.
Mm-hmm.
The first form of emotional abuse is when people refuse you, the audience, to address things.
Okay.
Sometimes they appear passive aggressive. Be very careful with passive aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
It is a favorite tactic of narcissistic people. They say, I'll tell you when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Days go, days, and you are boiling with pain. I'll tell you when I'm
ready.
And they bite. Passive aggressive, avoidant. They pretend to be peaceful, peace loving person. If you call a clan meeting, avoid clan meetings in your marriage.
Mm.
Nobody knows your inside experience.
Yeah.
We listed the reason why you should never involve your family in your conflict resolution. One of it was they don't move on past the conflict.
Yeah.
Even if you forgive each other and go back, then they're still stuck. Yes. And number two, you're inviting prying eyes and intrusive questions. So how is she treating you now? Since the time we addressed that issue, how is she behaving now? You're inviting outsiders. The other thing is there's conflict of interest.
Yeah.
People are likely to defend their person or to side with the other person that she does not live. If you call your father and mother and you have, if she has called your kinsman to say how you are misbehaving and she's about to leave, in order to stop her from leaving, they might just side with her.
Yes.
And there you're being sidelined from your people.
Yeah.
Be careful. When you invite a clan, nobody understands the picture of what you're experiencing. Another mistake they usually do, which has killed and damaged men's lives. They say they have resolved the issue. The clan resolved
the issue. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you are advised to go back. It's very hard for a clan to admit that they met and they could not resolve the issue. They imagine it's the issue to resolve.
Yeah.
It's a character issue. It's a conduct issue. Deception is a matter of the heart. These are real painful issue. Abuse, pretense. But because you can't hold meetings every week, this person will just go back, start misbehaving again, knowing it will take you months or a year to convene another meeting.
Yeah.
When you convene those meetings, you're just making things worse. And we also say that when you leave, you don't go back to your kinsfolk.
Yeah.
When you leave, you go back to your life. Even if you're stopping over briefly at your kinsfolk, the more you stay there, the more you appear like they are problem to solve, like they should help you, like you are stranded. And in any case, you're inconveniencing their life. They also want to get you out of the budget and back to your life. So don't appear like you're stranded. Yeah. If things don't work, go to your life. Go start hustling out there. Don't let people go talk to your parents to get you back. Are you still a child?
No.
Your decisions to be made by your mother?
No.
Okay, that lady talked to me. I think you should go back. You are the one to suffer it.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to have conversation and the person keeps invalidating, avoiding, running away, you should stop running after them and run the opposite direction. Whenever people treat you like you don't matter, actually, you don't matter. Believe it. Generally, people show you who they are. They don't always say it, but they always show it. And it was Maya Angelou said, whenever people tell you what they think about you, who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
People are not hard to read. We're just hard to believe. They keep showing it.
Yeah.
The second form of psychological abuse is a person living a double life, abusing you only when nobody else can see, pretending to be nice and even holding hand and behaving affectionate to public, praising you before people. Whenever you hear too much praise in front of people, become suspicious.
Yeah.
And always cross-check the body language of the one being praised. Many times you find a stark contrast. They are not impressed. Sometimes people praise you in public to appear loving. Good wife. To make it impossible for anybody to believe you. Now, because it's in public, you have to play along.
Yeah.
Yet in private, they break you down. If a person has a split personality, niceness for public, nastiness for private, abuse. Remember, abuse is a fourth degree of violation. The first violation is discourtesy. When people don't show you courtesy, the small behaviors that are crossing your boundaries. They don't say sorry. They don't say please. They don't inform you they're picking your charger, your phone. Discourtesy. They just get into your phone anyhow. Get into your private. Discourtesy. That is the first degree of violation. Second degree is disrespect. When they speak things, they behave in a way that disregards your integrity.
Yeah.
Crosses you the wrong way. You feel disrespected. It is disrespect that should be a red flag. We should not have to go all the way to abuse. The third degree is called contempt. Contempt is when they treat you like you are a useless thing, when in their mind they have already decided that you don't matter. Contempt is shown by you're talking and they start whistling. Imagine when you're addressing me and I start
Whistling.
Oh, I roll my eyes. It may appear small, but it is a sign that you, in the eyes of that person, you are a useless thing.
Yeah.
Contempt. After contempt is now abuse. The fourth degree and the highest should have left at second degree.
Yeah.
Disrespect. Sometimes discourtesy, you're not sure. You're not sure why they're picking your thing without telling you. Why they had people talking about you and they did not defend you. Why they took a side that is interesting. Why they just took the opposite direction of the argument when there is someone else. Why they tend to support other. It's hurting, but it's ambiguous.
Yeah.
It seems like a slight. That's why you speak up. But at disrespect, you don't speak up, you break up. But if you still stayed on without for your and then going to contempt and abuse, you're describing the indirect abuse. When people reach a place where it's like you're nobody.
Yeah.
We call it from contempt to abuse. And emotional abuse is not recognized by society. It is you to know that this is not what I want. It's you to know that I respect myself more than this. The third form of emotional abuse involves money. Sometimes people don't want. There are two signs when people are cheating. They hide their communication and they hide their money. The bank statement and the communications records always show what they're doing out there. And many people focus only on communication. But when people have reached a point of doing things, you see, sometimes you don't have raw data or hard information whether they're cheating. And some people, as I told you, they're not quite in it now.
Yeah.
They just have doors open for it. Now that nagging doubt of you, of when, how, what is happening out there, it's very mentally torturing. It tortures you mentally. When you know these behaviors are suggestive and you don't have proof, now they plant secrecy around their money. They put secrecy around their phone. They start being withdrawn and quiet. When the people are aloof. It's very troubling. They are not open with you. They're secretive. And they pretend like all is okay, all is well. They are retracted. What is that? You live with a troubling sensation that something is going on and you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Where do you go after that? Many times, silent abuse results in three things. Nervous, exhaustion, nervous, breakdown, emotional drain, depletion, depression, anxiety, psychosomatic illnesses. When a person keeps you in a mental torture, emotional drain, you're questioning yourself. You doubt yourself. Are you good enough? Are you the one misreading? Sometimes people are coming to me because they're saying I'm running mad. I don't know, am I exaggerating? Am I misreading the situation? Help me know this. deprivation, like sexual deprivation, some people come by telling you that their relationship has no big problem, only to realize sexual life does not exist. They have been conditioned to think they're the ones with a problem.
Yeah.
Or it's not a big problem, you should not always think about that. You know, we'll get past it, don't worry. And people have been conditioned to be deprived for years. And so they don't see it. It's like they've been so conditioned to think that's normal. So they start by saying they don't have a big problem. How bigger should be the problem? When people have been conditioned to accommodate violation, to accommodate abuse, to accommodate nothingness, the mere crumbs, that a person still comes home, the person still sometimes attends to the children, at least they don't, the way society tells you, at least they're not sleeping outside, at least they're not beating you up, at least, taking you to the bare minimum to make you stay. It is a form of psychological torture, and it results in depression. It takes you to a dark place. And if you stay on, become psychosomatic illnesses, migraines, it results in blood pressure, hyperacidity, diabetes. It breaks your system. Yeah. Will society see what happened? No. They can only see outwardly that you guys are okay, you are actually a model couple. They look up to you, and those who are outside, they admire you. Somebody was asking whether sexual deprivation is enough reason to leave. And I asked them, would you have married them when you know there will be no sex in that marriage? Don't stay with what you would not have signed up for.
Yeah.
Remember, before you got married, that's when your perspective was alive. Sometimes in the fog of life, when you're married, when you're trying to journey through, you lose perspective. Always remember, would I sign up for this again if I was given a chance now? If you didn't sign up for it, you should not be in it. It's called outside perspective. You stand outside to have objectivity. Yeah. Is that what I wanted? Is that what I asked for? And you're not saying all moments should be glorious and all times there are no ups and downs. Ups and downs don't involve neglect, abuse. Ups and downs were there even before you got married. Life itself has shakes, but the shakes, as you said, should be coming from circumstance. If a person has tripped, done something that hurt you, but they're genuinely sorry, that's another case. That's when you consider and you let them prove themselves. But if a person is consistently abandoning, consistently neglectful, consistently disregarding of your feelings, it is very abusive. It's another form of abuse, and I want to tie it to what it results to. When they don't defend you in public.
Yeah.
Remember I said, explosive abuse is easier to walk out of than hidden abuse, because when it's explosive, you can get sympathy and you can explain what happened. But if it is hidden, they don't fight you, but they just don't support you. So people don't support you in public. They hear people talking about, they don't answer. You even find chats there with somebody talking ill about you, and they don't tell you, okay, they did not support. What do? You see a chat with her sister. Very annoyed with you, irritated with you. What kind of husband is that you married? And she did not tell you, you just found the chat 1 month later. Okay, she may not have contributed at all, but thereon, another chat from her friend saying, these men of ours. And she flows along saying, men are all useless. What is that? You feel troubling sensation? The name of it is that a person who does not support you to outsiders, to their family, to in-laws, to anybody, they don't defend you. What happens? You're left exposed. You are left, eventually it results to social isolation. You don't know what they have said to other people out there about you. So when people don't fight you, but they still, their hands off. And you're lifting alone, you are defending yourself alone. Okay, they're there passively. Okay, they may even be cautious. And you to observe, you will see those kind of couples. No excitement, no energy, no anger, no conflict, no tension, but there's just no support, no friendship. And you see the brother working very hard to make up for the silence of the wife, to explain to the relatives that we are doing very okay. And she's just smiling on the lower side of the face. You know, false smiles are just on the lower side. A true smile also gladdens the eyes. And you see, you pity the man. Some people have mark timed. It can also be the woman, of course. Some people are mark timed because they are living alone.
Yeah.
The problem with emotional abusers is twofold. And I want to show you the perspective so that you stop underrating.
Yeah.
The first problem is that they occupy the place of your true supporter while they're not being your true supporter. They occupy the place of your partner when they're just being counterfeit. They lodge into your life and occupy space without adding value. They make you appear married when you're actually still single. They make you look like now you're complete when you're not complete. The reason many people are in sickness is frustration is because they're being sheltered from the world's help, and whoever has sheltered them cut them loose because you don't want to interfere with people's marriage. My brother is married, we don't want to bother too much. We can't tell. The one who is causing us to say you're married does not help you.
Yeah.
And she has caused us not to help you. Before she came in, we used to help you, to journey with you, to inform you, to travel together. Now she has come in to cut you from us, and she still does not serve the place of us. That is the biggest, and I want you to think about it and you will see the problem. Because when there is no outright loud abuse, society will not support you. Why are you leaving? You are not. Okay?
Yeah.
They take up the place of your wife when they don't play the wife. It's a silent sabotage. They become a counterfeit. They become a false partner. And you know, when they know they're not giving you the right deal, what you deserve, they start being very suspicious because they know you may get it from elsewhere. Those are the kind of people who try to kick away everybody and check who you talked to. When one guy said every time he arrives home, the wife will stay up 1 hour, checking all the numbers he talked to today and texting them. And I told him, you are only telling me the symptom. You are ignoring the disease, that you're married to a counterfeit. She is not giving you what you deserve. She fears that you may be getting it out there. There's a confidence you have, Brahma, when you know you're giving your woman the best you have. There's a confidence. You're not presumptuous, but you don't keep running after her phone. You know if she cheats, that will be a decision, not you neglecting her. Those who neglect you fear that somebody else is attending you. A lot of insecurities come from admission of failure.
Okay.
Knowing I'm giving you a raw deal, I fear somebody may be opening your eyes. The first biggest problem with emotionally abusive people, they have moved from lifting you, supporting you, validating you, to discourtesy, treating you with discourtesy, to disrespecting you, to treating you with contempt. Now they're at the highest degree, called abuse. And because it was not loud and explosive, you condoned it. Now, when you factor the truth that when I'm with them, I can't marry. And I'm still not married. The second and most painful is that you have to give benefits to somebody who is only taking away from you.
Yeah.
You still have to play wife. And you have the conscience. You can't mistreat them. You have to play the husband. You have to pay the dowry, respect the, come home, provide. This is the highest degree of swindle. You're paying for air. This is the most annoying.
Yeah.
You're paying the house and you're paying the fees, you're paying this, you're showing up, you're being available, while you are getting nothing.
Yeah.
That is the most annoying part. And this is how good people end up blasting in anger. Blasting because it's a silent conmanship. You must give energy, invest, give time, be true, control yourself, come home while you're being deprived, not supported, denied. You're out there behaving while you are here being deprived.
Yeah.
What kind of injustice is that? When you remember this second degree, you can simply tell whoever wants to know, my friend, instead of pretending and investing in nothing, It is better to be alone and know that I'm not investing anywhere and I'm not anywhere. Than in investing where there is nothing.
Yeah.
Remember the first problem? The person sits in the place of your partner while not playing your partner. Number two, they require you to play partner, to invest energy, money, truthfulness, faithfulness, stand up socially, carry the name, while you know you are so deprived, starved, abandoned, alone, being conned. That's when you hear people went to alcoholism, self-destructive, they were conned for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then they realize it is too unfair. And yet, nobody can validate you. Nobody supports you. The solution, Brahma, is to believe your decisions, to know your experience, to validate your truth, and walk out confidently. And abandon, forget about convincing people. Some truths, you only need yourself, your conscience to know this is the truth. And that's, with the time, people may come to understand. But even if they don't understand, you stand by your truth. Yes.
And I like it, Benjamin. I'm still at the very first point that you alluded to, of being denied the opportunity of having uncomfortable conversations.
Yes.
And you would realize at times, I am the one who's giving out that power. Okay? I am the one who is giving out that power of being denied the opportunity of having that particular audience. Why? It is because some people say, I choose peace.
You're right. You're right.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah. Choosing peace does not mean you choose to avoid burying your head in the sand. If something is troubling you, should be talked about. When you keep quiet, you're not keeping peace. You said, if you maintain silence to keep the peace, you start a war within you.
Exactly.
You may keep peace between you, but you start the war within you. We said, if there is no truth, the peace is fake.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King Jr. said, there is no peace if there is no truth. If I'm not being heard, if I don't feel understood, it's a fake form of peace. And the peace you need is knowing you matter, you are heard, you are understood. Yes.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The peace that you need and the truth that you need is that you matter at the end of the day. Remember, most importantly, to heal the pattern. If you don't heal the pattern, you will continue dating the same person in different bodies. Thank you so much for watching the Benjamin Zulu Show. Till next time.
This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life,